mind that cast. Oh my god! That's the bite. Yes! Yes! That's a really nice fish. So, as promised on the last video, I said this video is going to be how to tie that fly that did really well in the last video. If you haven't looked at that, if you haven't checked that video out, I'll leave a link here. I think they pop up here, so I'm going to say they pop up over here because it's actually switched around. So click that right there. It was a really good fly. It's a really easy fly, and it's probably the goofiest fly I've made, but it's probably the fly that I like the most. So let's jump right into it. First, we're gonna go over the materials that you're gonna want. So up first, you're gonna have some of those barred neck hackle feathers. Really common feather right there. You can get that pretty much anywhere. And then you're going to have some craft fur, whether it's EP or not, no big deal. Like I've always used, I'll show you that right there. This is from EP. I like this because it has the wire down the center, so it's easier to wrap. I don't know if that's a common thing. Again, I'm not a professional fly tie or anything like that. I am very unprofessional, and that's just how I like to do it. That's the one I like. And then I'm gonna use some schlappen for a little collar. I'll show you that at the end of the video. This is the main ingredient right there. Just like I think this is called an open cell foam. At the end of this video, I'll show you guys a very, 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 very useful hack, and you can basically tie this fly for like the next 50 years. Then you have just your normal closed cell foam right here. You'd use this on like gurglers or stuff like that. That's this. And then you have more craft fur right there, like that. Big old sheet. Give me 1 minute and make sure that camera's still rolling up there. Okay, so to start, we are actually going to take our, I can never say the word, Genru hook right there. Genru. I think it's either Genru or Genru. It's a Japanese company. I got these from my favorite fly tying website. It's called Fly Project. I'll leave a link at the end of the video or something like that. I'm not affiliated with them. They're just a really cool fly shop, and I really like them. So we're gonna take this guy, and this is also another one of those heavy wire saltwater hooks. I just love these saltwater hooks so much. I just don't know why. They work really good for me. And then we are going to use our 210 denier right there. I like the 210. I feel like it ties the best for what I like and for what I use it for. So we're going to tie that on there. And this is a very, 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 very simple fly. You just can take that, cut that. I'm gonna go check that camera because it has me having some PTSD. Still rolling, we're still rolling. And then first up, we're gonna use our craft fur right here. Doesn't matter what craft fur you use, doesn't matter color or anything like that. I've never personally asked the bass what color they like or anything. So if you have, and they've specifically told you, A, cool, B, should probably go to a mental asylum because fish aren't supposed to be talking to you. We're gonna take a very tiny amount, just a very, very tiny amount, just a little scotch, a little pinch right there. And we are going to tie this on the furthest back end of the fly, just to kind of give it a little bit of a tail. Just to give it a little bit of a tail. As you can see, it has that little bit of a tail now. And then we are going to take our feathers. In this situation, we're using a barred neck. I just like these flies, or this feather a lot. It's a really cheap feather, and it just ties the best in what I need. So I like it the most. I'm gonna put those right there. And then we can measure this guy. We want about like that right there. So you're just gonna take that, cut that, soup, and then pick which feather you want on each side. So I want, let's put this guy over here. Tie that guy in, quick and dirty. Now let's try and adjust that guy so it's facing a little bit more the correct way than the other way. That works fine. Then we're gonna take our other feather, put it over like that, go like that, tie him in, take our thread, go towards the back of the hook, sit right there. So your left with something like this, and it looks pretty good, pretty unified at the moment. And then what you're gonna do is you are going to take your craft fur. Again, this is the EP one, so it's on that little wire, just makes my life a little easier. And then just put that over there. And then all you're gonna do is find the end of what you wanna use. If you can find it, goodness. Cut this wire a little bit. It does not have to be perfect, trust me. Do one of those, and then tie this guy in. Tie, tie, tie. So you just take it, tie it in, so then this is pointed like that. Tie it in a few times so it's good and tied in. Then you can move your thread all the way up to the front here. Tie that down like that. And what I like to do, have a toothbrush when I'm working with craft fur, so you can kind of manipulate it to go the way you want it to. So if you don't do this, what tends to happen, I've noticed, is that it kind of just all clumps up on each other. And obviously we don't want that. We want those to be as free moving as possible. So when you tie it in, you just kind of brush the fur in the direction that you want it to, and just make sure that it's not clumped up on each other, because that's obviously not the kind of look you want. But you just do this, and it looks like we might actually have just the perfect amount here. And you're just gonna go like that. And then I'm actually gonna stop a little short here. And then I'm gonna tie that in like that. I'm gonna brush this up a little bit too, just to make it look a little prettier. And then we're gonna cut off the excess craft fur, save that guy for a later project. And then tie, 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 tie. Cool. And we can brush this guy more if we wanted to, make it look pretty. And then this is what I would say is the most important part in this entire project. So what I'm gonna do is basically make something like this, but a lot better looking if the camera wants to focus on my hand real quick. So it's like that. So it's your open cell on top of the closed cell. So my theory, or what I think I've noticed when I'm throwing this fly, is that if you just do the closed cell, it tends to soak up too much water, and then it's not going to do the action that we want it to. Whereas if you kind of combine the two, as I try and pinch this off, if you combine the two, then the closed cell on the bottom of the open cell makes it so the closed cell stays on top of the water, and then the open cell keeps the entire fly more buoyant. I think I worded that correct. Again, I'm not a professional tyer, so you probably shouldn't even be listening to me to begin with. But we're just gonna roughly trim this up. Again, doesn't matter how pretty this is, the fish do not care. The fish do not care. If you learn anything from this video, there you go. And then we're going to cut out a piece of closed cell foam. Do that. Put this over here, and then just roughly make the same shape as the closed cell foam with the open cell. And then you're going to take your beloved super glue, and you're going to put some of that on here. You're going to put that on the closed cell foam. Just put that like that. Put that down, and you're going to do that. And this part you don't want to, so what you don't want to do is you don't want to squish this down, because what'll happen is it'll end up like this, and you see how there's that big indent? You don't want that. You want it to stay as fluffy as possible, so don't squish it down. Just sit, wait maybe like 1 to 2 minutes, and then we will get to the next step. And this is probably the most important step, so stay tuned. Okay, and now that you've waited like 1 minute to 2 minutes, the next step you can do before we put the most important step on here is you can take your schlappen, I cannot say that word to save my life. And what you're gonna do is just make a really easy, just little collar. Doop, doop, doop. You're just gonna make an easy, quick little collar. Doesn't have to look good, doesn't have to be pretty. Just slap it on there. As the name ensues, slapping, I don't know. It's called feathers in my world. Goodness. And you're just gonna tie that in like such. And then what you do to make a little collar, or what I do to make a little collar, is just go like that, wrap it around, and then you have your little collar. Again, is it the prettiest thing? No. Will it work? 100%. 100%. Then you're gonna take this, cut off the excess, throw that on your garage floor, pick it up later. And now, this is the complicated part, okay? You watching? Because this is complicated. If you don't follow this step, none of this works. You gotta take this foam and you gotta focus. Put your thinking cap on. Then you're gonna take this and put it right on top like that. And now you watching? You take your thread and you go whoop, and it's gonna come out looking goofy. You're gonna say, what the did I just watch? And then you're gonna like, subscribe, and comment on this video. And if you don't now, I'll show you some pictures of the fish that I've already caught on this guy, and then you can do it after that. So roll the B-roll. And now that the B-roll is done, the fly is done. I gotta get this super glue off my hands. There you go, right there. Let me clean it up like that. If that camera's still on, there you go. And I'll show you guys, most importantly, there you go, right there. Oh, my freaking face keeps blocking it. There you go. That's the fly that was absolutely crushing it the other day in the last video. Again, if you haven't watched that video, I'll leave a link in the bottom and I'll also put it up somewhere here. But it's really cheap, really easy, and a lot of fun. Now comes time for the secret. Give me 1 minute. So for the open cell foam that's on this, that I think is the most important part, and you can use this on a ton of other flies, you can actually buy a good amount of it for very cheap. Like, very cheap. So Joann's Fabrics is going out of sale, so it's probably cheaper than it even was before. But you can buy, I have literally another roll over there for, I think it was about like 20 or 30 bucks at the time. I don't know, don't quote me on that. But this stuff is really good. It's green, so if you're picky with colors, I'm sorry about that. It catches fish, trust me. The fish don't care. But other than that, it's really good. I would highly recommend you running out and getting some of this stuff. It's extremely cheap. It's pretty durable, and it's really fun to tie with. And yeah, you'll definitely see this on a lot more flies. I just flipped it up in the camera. You'll definitely see this on a lot more flies that I tie in the future. Again, I am not a professional fly tyer. I don't think I know what I'm doing half the time. However, I do make flies. They somehow catch fish, and I have a lot of fun doing it. I hope you guys like these videos. Another thing is, every fly that I tie it beforehand, go try it out, and if I don't catch at least one nice size fish on it, I don't make these videos. So there you go. But I hope you guys like this video. There's gonna be a lot more of these to come. Kind of thinking about doing a little series with these. But if you like the video, please subscribe, comment, and like the video. It means a lot to me. Other than that, see you guys on the next one. I gotta go get this freaking super glue off my hands now. That's what they don't tell you about freaking super glues. You're just gonna get it on your hands and it's just gonna get everywhere. And then it's just annoying, and then it dries out. The tip dries up, and like, it's just, you know, it's not really fun. Now I gotta spend the rest of my day getting super glue off my fingers instead of fishing. Yeah, okay. Come on, get off.